Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll continue with the topic of the best combinations for your heroes in DC Dark Legion, and the chosen one for today is Hippolyta. Even though my build video for her didn't get many
Queen of
views,
the
I still
Amazon
decided to
commands.
make this video to have a source of reference for you later. Who knows, maybe one day she'll become a popular choice, right? In this video, I'll briefly talk about some basic things about Hippolyta, then move on to faction combinations with her, and also go over the strengths and weaknesses of each faction. After that, I'll talk about individual hero combinations, and finally, I'll cover the legacies that her teammates should use to help her become even stronger. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to catch more awesome videos, and also leave a comment. It really motivates me a lot to keep making content. All right, no more talking. Let's get started. First, let's talk a bit about Queen Hippolyta. She is a guardian from the Amazon faction, but she's a support hero who creates shields similar to Dr. Fate. However, she's a ranged attacker, so her position in the team is very flexible. If you have a better tanker or warrior, you can also place her in the backline. As for her skills, she mainly creates shields to protect her teammates, increases physical defense, and reduces the damage received for the entire team. At the same time, when using her ultimate, she also increases her own damage reduction. She can also boost her own energy, making her very useful against the Legion of Doom faction. Based on these points, let's talk about the faction teams that she can fit into first. Since there aren't enough heroes from the Amazon faction yet, if you want to use her, you'll need to combine her with other factions. The first faction that fits really well is the Superman family. This faction has a strong healer, but it's still not enough to keep the team alive, so Queen Hippolyta is very much needed here. The weakness of this faction is that they need to survive long enough for Supergirl to reach her full power when using her ultimate, and Queen Hippolyta is extremely useful in this case.
Might.
On top of that, thanks to her combination with Crypto, when she takes damage for her teammates and loses a large amount of HP, Crypto will heal her HP even while she's using her ultimate. But as you already know, the Superman family faction is very expensive to build. There are already 3 Mythic Limited heroes, which cost 3 legacies, and now adding another hero means you'll also have to spend Magic Eyes to invest in Queen Hippolyta. So if your resources aren't strong enough, you shouldn't force this build. But if your resources are strong, this combination is absolutely insane. This team is both hard to defeat and can also deal massive damage if they survive through 2 ultimate turns.
Might. By my royal command.
Next, she can also work well with the Legion of Doom faction. The advantage of this faction is that they aim to finish battles fast, but their weakness is very poor survivability. This faction has a weak tanker that can be replaced by her, and that's Killer Croc. This team has great energy regeneration and early energy buffs, so they usually use their ultimate skills very early. Hippolyta is the same, so they'll unintentionally be protected while they're casting their ultimate. Especially Deathstroke, if he gets attacked and loses HP, he'll become the hero with the lowest HP on the team. However, Hippolyta's ultimate may not always reach him because its range isn't too wide. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I've tested it many times, but still haven't figured out the exact pattern. With Hippolyta's support, if the enemy team uses Deathstroke or Nightwing, you won't need to worry as much because she'll protect Sinestro, and then Sinestro will counterattack to take down those assassins. After that, your team can secure the victory. The downside is also the cost. Including Hippolyta, this team has up to 4 Mythic Limited heroes. Next, she also works well with the Justice League Dark faction. As you already know, this faction already has Raven and Dr. Fate, and on top of that, Swamp Thing too. So you might think, why would we need her then? Actually, this faction only needs Constantine to survive as long as possible to make the enemy team struggle. So if you add her in, no assassin will be able to take him down early. For example, if he gets attacked, Swamp Thing will reduce physical damage, Dr. Fate will protect him, then Hippolyta will add another layer of protection, and finally Raven will heal him back up. This makes the team extremely hard to defeat. However, if the enemy team runs a full Justice League Dark lineup, I think their side will still be stronger because they have attack buffs from Zatanna. Over time, the full JLD team will eventually win, but this lineup can beat the Legion of Doom team, while the full JLD team can't. So it really depends on the situation. This team is also more affordable since it only has two mythic limited heroes, and adding her makes it 3. Next is the BatFamily faction. This team is also lacking a tanker, and you can replace Batman with Hippolyta. She will help this team survive much longer, especially keeping Nightwing alive since he's the core character of this team. If he's taken down early, the whole team will lose. With his massive damage, high crit rate, and crit damage, just a few extra seconds of survival are enough to make the enemy team struggle. This team is actually perfect for free-to-play players because only Nightwing is Mythic limited, so you only need to invest in one legacy. Adding Hippolyta means just one more legacy. It's less expensive, but still quite strong. The downside is that Hippolyta's ultimate may not always reach Nightwing. This team is also quite weak against the Legion of Doom faction because Deathstroke usually attacks before Nightwing. Next is the League of Assassins team. This team usually dives straight into danger, and they don't have any support to help them survive, which makes Hippolyta a great fit. They are some of the most fragile heroes, but also deal very high damage, so if they can survive long enough, they can make the enemy team struggle a lot. However, this team is not really suitable for free-to-play players because it's very expensive to build. Most of its members are Mythic Limited and Assassins, so you'll have to spend a lot of anvils to reach the purple, gold, and red star levels for them to be effective. If their damage isn't high enough, they'll get defeated very quickly. This team can beat the Legion of Doom, Justice League Dark, and BatFamily, but it loses to the Superman family because the main damage dealers in that faction have strong physical resistance, while the League of Assassins mainly relies on physical damage. Lastly, we have the Arkham team. As you know, their strategy is to stall for time and deal damage over time. The longer they survive, the more damage they deal, thanks to Joker's Venom, bleed effects, and dot buffs from Joker and Two-Face. Combined with Scarecrow and Poison Ivy, the longer they stay alive, the harder they are to take down. Adding Hippolyta to this lineup fits in perfectly. She's an especially strong addition to this team. Their biggest threats used to be Deathstroke and Nightwing, but with Hippolyta, they won't have to fear them anymore. However, this team is quite hard to build. Even though there are only 3 Mythic Limited heroes, Joker and Scarecrow are released very close to each other. Joker this month, Scarecrow the next, so it's very difficult to invest in both at the same time. Even though at the beginning I said this video is about the best team combinations with Queen Hippolyta, since she's both a tanker and a survival support hero, I only mentioned teams instead of individual heroes. Besides that, she also benefits a lot from support heroes like Zatanna, who can increase physical defense to make her shield more effective. Healers like Crypto, who not only heals but also reduces enemy attack, and help her survive better when she's taking all the damage for the team. Starfire, Raven, Poison Ivy, Mara, and Green Lantern also work well with her since their main role is to heal her. Because she absorbs damage for 8 seconds, if she isn't defeated during that time and gets healed back up, she becomes a huge obstacle for the enemy team. Other heroes who can reduce enemy attack, reduce damage taken, or create shields also pair well with her. Basically, any hero that provides survival support will work great. On the other hand, she doesn't pair well with heroes that only boost damage because she doesn't have any attack skills. She's also a strong support for fragile but high damage heroes like Sinestro, Constantine, Joker, and many others. Next, let's talk about the legacies that teammates should use to support Queen Hippolyta more effectively. First is Purple Ray, which makes healing effects much stronger, helping her recover more HP. Next is Starheart's Staff. When a support hero equips it, it increases the team's physical defense when they use their ultimate, which not only helps Hippolyta survive, but also boosts her shield's effectiveness. Then there's Fear Reaper, Scarecrow's exclusive legacy, which reduces the enemy's attack when they attack or use their skill. This helps Hippolyta take less damage since she's the one absorbing it for the whole team. Starfire's starbolts also help if you position her close to Hippolyta. It increases her healing, making her survival much stronger. If she stays alive, the whole team stays alive. Lastly, Antler Crown from Swamp Thing reduces enemy attack and crit damage, which also helps Hippolyta survive longer. Um, that's it for today's video. If there's any other hero combination you want me to talk about, just leave a comment below and I'll make a video about it in the next few days. See you in the next one.